Exactly 1 o'clock on the nose. You're right on time for the latest reports this Saturday afternoon, including more reactions with respect to what took place yesterday at the Kenyatta International Convention Center. This is Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Byron Abuli is our sign language interpreter. Now, Kenyans have expressed mixed reactions following the signing of a memorandum of understanding between President William Ruto's UDA and Raila Odinga's ODM. Some say the move will bring unity to the country. However, a section has castigated the move, saying it was meant to benefit the political class at the expense of the ordinary Kenyans.
Leo ni ile siku ya kumalizana na ukabila.
Kenyans are reacting to the UDA-ODM cooperation agreement signed by their party leaders President William Ruto and Raila Odinga at KICC on Friday. In Isiolo County, a section of residents argued that the move will cripple the opposition's ability to check the excesses of the government.
Wameshikana, those who are strong together. As unaona the weak, those who are weak wanakanyangiwa, and we cannot accept. Watu hawezi kubali hivyo. Because sasa mimi sioni Kenya if there is anything good. Kwa sababu how can Raila join with Ruto? What about the rest of the citizens?
So tashukuru kwa mara nyingine kwa kuungana na kuleta hii inaita serikali ya umoja. Ni vizuri, lakini usisahau hiyo sio sera ulituhusia kwa manifesto yako.
A section of residents in Kisii County slammed Raila Odinga's declaration that his decision was informed by consultations with Kenyans.
Tumetumikwa na mzee Raila Odinga kwa masiku mingi sana, lakini kwa vile alikuja kusema ati hatutoshi ni kitu mbaya sana. Wacha ajue Mkisii ni Mkisii, na tumekuwa kwa nyuma yake kila wakati, na yeye anastahili kutusupport tukiwa tumetosha.
Mzee wetu tumesimama na yeye mwaka mingi hivi na tumekuwa na yeye. Sasa ni kama ametulete down kwenye venye ameingia UDA, hata tuelewi ni nini sasa Kenya tunaenda wapi ama tuende. Lakini sasa sisi lazima tusupport, kama hata support hakuna kitu kingine tutafanya.
Sasa imefika amemezwa, na wakati amemezwa ni nini tunaweza ita kwamba yeye anatetea wa Kenya? Because sisi hata kama alituruka jana, sisi hatuamini hiyo, because mwenye alikuwa anaenda kusupport ni president wa Kenya nzima, si ati ni president wa Kisii.
Meanwhile, Machakos County Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi said the new pact between Odinga and Ruto should put to end abductions and corruption in the country.
We wish ODM well. Kiwa wameona waingia kwa serikali, hiyo Raila ametenda yake. Sasa wacha Wakenya wamebaki wakiwa peke yao huko nje. Kwa sababu tumekuwa tukijua Mheshimiwa Raila kama mtu wa kutetea haki za wananchi. Tunaomba kuingia kwake kwa serikali, watengeneze serikali na Bwana Ruto, mauaji sasa isimame.
Giverson Maina, Lunchtime News.
The Office of the Commission on Administrative Justice popularly referred to as the Office of the Ombudsman, is currently working with county governments to develop access to information acts that are unique to each of the 47 devolved units. The Commission's chair, Charles Dulo, says the lack of the Access to Information Act at the county level has over time hindered Kenyans from seeking information on various critical issues, pointing out the need by county assemblies to address the gap. Dulo says his technical team is currently engaging county assemblies nationwide to fine-tune the drafts before they can be debated and passed as acts.
At the national level, we have the National Access to Information Act, but we want the counties to adopt what we call specific Access to Information Act, taking into consideration the local circumstances, because what happens in this country is different from what happens in another county. There are some counties which the populace are very much engaged and aware, and they really normally ask for information. Part of the reason why we want to capacitate the counties is that not everybody can have to come to us in Nairobi to report to us about we requested this information and we have not been given. When the access to information has been enacted by the counties, the people of the counties will be able to put to task their county government if they require certain information about a development or about a project, especially the FLOCAP funded projects within the counties. Then that is why that Access to Information Act for the county will enable the people of the county to access that information.
Yeah. The Ministry of Mining, Maritime Affairs and Blue Economy, in collaboration with the county government of Kwale, has launched the construction of a modern fish landing site at Mwaepe in Msambweni sub-county in a bid to boost fishing along the southern coastal part of Kenya. The 256 million shillings project, funded by the World Bank and implemented by the Kenya Maritime Fisheries and Socio-Economic Development Project, will enhance fish storage, improve fish product marketing, and reduce post-harvest losses once completed. Mining, Maritime Affairs and Blue Economy Cabinet Secretary Hassan Joho called on the police and Kwale County government to reclaim all encroached fish landing sites, warning land grabbers that their days are numbered.
Muangalie kokote mtu ambaye amechukua ufuo wa wavuvi, warudishe tu wenyewe, na kama warudishe wenyewe mutumie nguvu ya serikali ku reclaim and restore what rightfully belongs to the people of that area. Hata zile bandari zile ambazo zimechukuliwa za zamani tuzifuate.
Huu mradi ukiishi, tutakuwa na cold storage, tutakuwa na ice plant machine. Kwa hiyo ina maana tutakuwa na barafu ya kutosha na tutakuwa na sehemu ya kuhifadhi samaki. Wavuvi hawatauza tena samaki kwa bei ya kutupa kwa kuhofia samaki labda wataoza.
Kwa kutenga nafasi yako inaweza kuja kuzi.
And a section of educators in Nairobi County is advocating for the inclusion of the French language in the competency-based curriculum in a bid to enrich the educational framework and create opportunities for Kenyan students globally. Speaking during a French symposium in Buruburu, Nairobi County, that brought together several schools from the region, the educators highlighted the growing significance of understanding multiple languages, especially French, as an added advantage in diplomacy, business, and cultural exchange.
We examined the French language nationally. It could have shown a picture that is important. Now, French is so important to us, we cannot ignore it. You see, we have job market. We need French to embrace French so that we can help these learners when they want to go and work in foreign countries, French-speaking countries. They will need French language.
Bilingual is the way to go because you find that we have language barrier when it comes to internationalities. So we need our learners to be able to speak French and other languages in future for job market, and not just job market, but French culture should be embraced, because French is spoken all over the world. It's the second most spoken language in the world.
A section of farmers in Mumias, Kakamega County has given the management of Mumias Sugar Company a 14-day ultimatum to disclose the company's financial and asset status reports or face legal action. Speaking at a press briefing in Mumias, the farmers, along with other stakeholders, raised concerns over possible financial mismanagement at the troubled sugar miller. The farmers are calling on the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate alleged financial irregularities within the company.
This receiver manager who commenced operations in February 2020, he produced a total of 2.2 million liters of ethanol, which was going at 400 shillings, and that earned him 880 million shillings. Enough to pay off Kenya Commercial Bank, alafu waende.
We don't know what this receiver manager took over. Hatujui alichukua tractor ngapi, hatujui alichukua vitu vya ofisi ngapi, hatujui alipata hii sukari yenye ilikuwa huko aliuza, alikapa pesa ilienda wapi. We have never been given any status report.
Out of these farmers that you are seeing, we are going to have representatives and demand that at every step of the receiver manager in engaging the factory and as farmers, we must be able to be consulted.
In Busia County, schools have been urged to improve their infrastructure ahead of the forthcoming mapping of schools to accommodate grade 10 learners as they transit from grade 9. Speaking at Kolanya Girls National School during a Thanksgiving ceremony, Busia Education Quality Assurance and Standards Officer Isaac Wasai noted that the quality of infrastructure and personnel will be key in determining grade 10 admissions, with priority given to science and mathematics subjects. Wasai emphasized that national schools had what it takes to offer all three pathways, even as he urged leaders through NGCDF to support infrastructural development in schools.
Find the pathways under the competence-based curriculum that these senior institutions or senior secondary schools are going to admit effective from next year. And those pathways, we have received a monitoring tool to which officers from the Ministry of Education will tour every institution and ensure they look at the facilities that are available, look at the teaching and learning resources that are there, the competence in terms of the personnel who are working there, and be able to define the pathway that those particular institutions are going to admit in their institutions as we go to the CBC curriculum.
Na tumekata kauli tukasema ya kwamba kama sub-county tumekuwa tukishikilia mikia kwa miaka 10 zilizopita, na ili hesabu iwe sawasawa lazima tulipise kisasi kwa kushikilia nambari ya kwanza kwa miaka mingine 10.
13 minutes past the top of the hour. We are due for our first break. Plenty more after this break, including sports. Stay with us.
In Lumumba Estate, hustle is survival.
When a loved one's lost, as we can be.
What is this good for nothing miscreant doing here? One estate chairman managing a chaotic estate group. Catch these exciting shows only on Maisha Magic Plus on DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
Inua jamii karibu nawe kwa haraka na urahisi. Kwa sasa, malipo ya Inua Jamii yanapatikana moja kwa moja kupitia simu ya mkononi. Ikiwa wewe ni mmoja wa wanaopokea fedha hizi, hakikisha laini yako ina huduma ya pesa mkononi. Iwapo huna laini ya simu ya mkononi, tembelea duka la Safaricom au ajenti wa M-Pesa aliye karibu nawe ili usajiliwe kwa ada ya shilingi 100. Inua Jamii ni mradi wa fedha wa serikali unaolenga Wakenya walio na umri wa miaka 70 na zaidi, watoto yatima na watoto wanaoishi katika mazingira magumu na watu wenye ulemavu sugu, kwa kuwapa malipo ya kila mwezi. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako kwa niaba ya Wizara ya Leba na Huduma za Jamii.
Siku zote mimi husema kwamba mwenye macho haambiwi tazama.
Nikipiga deki huku wasema naadhibiwa, nafunzwa shuleni huku wanena nadhulumiwa.
Na kama ni hivyo, namna gani, juhudi zipi tumeweka za wazi kuhakikisha kuwa mazingira haya hatuyaathiri kivyovyote vile?
Kampeni za kupanda miti zinapata maarifa duniani kote.
Wewe umo nyumbani mwako unaenjoy kukalia sofa wakati wengine wanaadhirika kwa kuwa mlikata miti.
Lakini ikiwa watu hawatabadili tabia yao, hakuna juhudi kabisa.
Ngekulipa nini kama ungetaka nilipe jema moja moja, maana hata ipumzi nayovuta.
This is life. Life is real. Life happens. We plan for things, but sometimes they don't go the way we want them to go.
So setbacks are part of life. We have no control of that sometimes, many times. Sometimes we do, sometimes we can take precautions, but it will still happen to all of us.
Yeah.
Yes, so life will happen to all of us.
The shame of asking for help.
Yes.
Because sometimes even when someone commits suicide, you'll always hear people say, but yangesema.
You have so many voices. You're busy looking for solutions. And if you're not careful, you will look for solutions everywhere.
I asked her out. I asked her if she could be my girlfriend.
What did I do?
And she burst out laughing. She was like,
Burst out
what?
laughing. I was like, what?
We actually did a Mount Kenya hike when we were dating.
Yeah. I think all dating people should do Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
Don't shower for 4 days.
5 days.
Yeah, 5 days.
Correction.
Like all manner of, petals, like everything.
When you're doing coffee, it's usually staged. It's managed. But now, when you're out there, like you're...
It was so intense. Everyone was like, I remember telling the girls, we are not engaged, me I can bounce like right now. We like to say that life has been generous with us. Yeah, so I think one of our hardest seasons in marriage was 2017. Literally what we suffered from was shattered dreams, because we came back with nothing.
Who's most likely to be the first to say, I'm sorry?
Welcome back. Let's continue to inform you. And now the Kenya Ports Authority marked the International Women's Day with a solid commitment to promoting women's rights. As part of their efforts, KPA's women employees, led by the administration manager, Catherine Wangari, donated postpartum care products to new mothers and survivors of gender-based violence at the Coast General Teaching and Referral Hospital. This year's theme is For All Women and Girls' Rights Equality.
KPA believes in women. We have about 1376 women in KPA, and it's about promoting gender equality and equity in the workplace. The theme for this year is Accelerate Action, and for us as an organization, we've put various programs to ensure that there is equity and equality for our employees. We also have robust programs aimed at combating gender-based violence and ensuring that our women are set to positions of power.
As a hospital, we appreciate your thought and we welcome this thought, at least not for this day only, but keep coming so that we support our mothers.
Kwa zawadi yenye tumeletewa
Nashukuru sana na tena nawapa karibu tena na lakini mkumbuke wanawake sana.
35 ward-based SACCOs in Busia County have benefited from 24.5 million shillings in efforts aimed at strengthening SACCOs and micro, small and medium enterprises to uplift rural communities and improve their economic well-being. Speaking in Busia Town, Principal Secretary for Micro, Small Enterprises and Cooperatives, Susan Mangeni, urged SACCO members to put the funds to prudent use. She said this could help revive the rural economy and support edible oil production, reducing the country's dependence on imported cooking oil.
Na pia nikaambiwa kulingana na bidii yenu. Tunaelewana? Na hapo ndio nataka sasa tupige story. Kulingana na bidii yenu, ikiwa hizi fedha mtazitumia kwa ile njia ambao mmecommit mnataka kuitumia kwa kilimo, na mimi nataka kurai to the county government ya Busia, wacha hizi pesa zikuwe invested in the production, in enhancing production of those 5 value chains that you've talked about.
Wakati wakulima walilima watermelon hapa nyingi sana. Watermelon ilikuwa nyingi hadi bei ikarudi chini almost 10 times. You must pity those farmers because they had no access to markets. As watermelon was selling at 20 shillings here, in Garissa watermelon sells at 200-300 shillings. As watermelon rots here na inalishwa nguruwe na ng'ombe, watu Mombasa wanahitaji watermelon na wana pesa ya kununua. Through these cooperatives, we can access these markets.
Hakikisha kwamba hii pesa haivunjwi. Hii pesa imekuwa devolved to the last unit, our wards. Kwa hivyo ombi langu ni kwamba kama tunaweza multiply hii pesa leo, kesho kama county government itaweza kupata hata kama ni milioni 2, wapandishe juu. Pesa kwa wananchi is better than anything else.
We continue with the celebration of Women's Day, where Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has called for faster action to support women's agenda in the country. He said it's time society recognizes the important roles women play in driving progress in different areas of socio-economic development, peace and security. Here's a roundup of stories from across the country as we celebrate the International Women's Day.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi pointed out that International Women's Day is an important opportunity to reflect, strengthen efforts and make real commitments that will have a positive impact on the global women's agenda. Mudavadi also stressed the need to support women's leadership in peace and security, ensuring their voices are heard in resolving conflicts and building peace.
We want to be able to encourage them. We want to get rid of gender-based violence. We want to be able to make sure that they get a fair share of all the opportunities that are available in every sectors of our economy and all economies globally.
Meanwhile, children at Ngong Huruma Children's Home celebrated the founder, Mama Zipporah Kamau, as a pillar of hope and a loving mother figure to countless vulnerable children. They said she has not only offered shelter and care, but also the opportunity for a better future through education.
Sisi kama watoto wake tunamuombea Mungu aendelee kumlinda na alinde afya yake na azidi kumbariki ili aweze kubariki watoto wengine pia wale ambao wangetaka kubarikiwa naye.
To help a child who is needy, child who does not have anything, we help them with education, we help them with shelter, and we help them also with self-reliance skills.
And the National Council of Churches in Kenya, NCCK, hosted celebrations to mark International Women's Day, where women from Kitui shared the progress made in women's empowerment and rights. However, they also pointed out critical challenges that still need attention, such as the rising cases of gender-based violence and love-related killings.
Wanawake hawakuwa wanahusishwa sana sana kama ni mambo na mashamba, mambo na kamati mbalimbali. na uongozi wowote wanawake walikuwa wameachwa, lakini kwa sasa kila mara, kila mahali, kama ni shule, kwa makanisa, hospitali na komiti mbalimbali, wanawake wamewekwa ndani.
The 2025 International Women's Day is being celebrated under the theme For All Women and Girls, Rights, Equality and Empowerment. Maria Ambo reporting for the Lunchtime News.
Farmers in Baringo County through the Kenya Peasants League, which advocates for peasant farmers' rights, have welcomed the Court of Appeal's ruling to stop the importation of genetically modified foods, saying the decision is a victory for local farmers and food consumers. Speaking to the media in Kabarnet, Isaiah Biwot, a representative of the league, said they moved to the Court of Appeal after the High Court declined to grant their request. He commended the courts for halting the importation of GMOs pending the hearing of the case.
Tuko na furaha sana kwa sababu mahakama wa upeo imetoa uamuzi ambao imesimamisha wakisaji wa chakula za GMOs ambao tumekuwa tukipinga kwa muda mrefu. Vyakula vingeletwa na viuzwe hapa, sisi kama wakulima wadogo hatungepata mahali ya kuuzia vyakula vyetu. Alafu pia kama watumizi wa hizi vyakula tungetumia vyakula vya GMO si safe katika afya ya watumizi.
Embu Chief Magistrate Francis Kiambea has fined 5 men 200,000 Kenyan shillings each or serve a 2-year jail term after convicting them of vandalizing telecommunication infrastructure along the Embu-Meru Highway on March 5th, 2025. The men who pleaded guilty appealed for leniency, claiming they had been contracted as laborers by individuals who fled when police officers on patrol arrived at the scene on the day of arrest. However, the magistrate highlighted the increasing cases of vandalism in the region. Among the evidence presented in court was a 41-meter Telkom Kenya cable valued at 65,000 shillings and other tools used during the crime.
The circumstances have sent each one of you to pay a fine of 200,000 shillings. In default, you serve 2 years. Then the items which have been recovered, they are going to be forfeited to the state for disposal. The operator will say within 14 days.
Young learners have been urged to take active role in environmental conservation as pollution and waste management continue to pose challenge across the country. Speaking at Bloomington Junior Academy in Thika, Kiambu County, the First Lady's Mazingira Award representative Sheila Shifombiru highlighted the importance of engaging children in conservation through art, music and social media advocacy. The school celebrated 4 of its pupils who were among the last year's 60 winners of the prestigious Mazingira Award.
At the First Ladies Mazingira Awards, what we are trying to do is to get our young people engaged in environmental conservation and climate action, but to do it in a way that they can engage creatively. And I can see this school is doing very well. Apart from art, essay, spoken word at the First Lady Mazingira Awards, we also do tree planting and growing. In the various categories, there were 60 winners. And out of those 60 winners, there were 4 winners from Bloomington School.
The Pest Control Products Board is assuring Kenyans that the pest control products authorized for use in the country are safe. The board's Chief Executive Officer, Frederick Mushiri, says any pesticides authorized for use in the country is evaluated and assessed properly by Kenyan scientists, dismissing claims that pesticides banned in some developed countries are being used in the country. Mushiri spoke in Eldoret during the opening of the Pest Control Products Board North Rift Regional Office.
This team here will be working very closely with that team to ensure that any unauthorized pest control products into the country are stopped completely. And this is informed by the fact that unauthorized entry of products are the ones that have been causing problems to our farmers. Unlicensed and fake products will be a thing of the past, and we expect the people of this region to make use of this office by coming here to get correct information, also education, and especially even on how to use the pest product control, the control products, because sometimes our farmers use pesticide in the wrong way.
The Kenya Junior Starlets expect a tough game against Uganda this afternoon in the FIFA Women's Under-17 World Cup qualifier at the Nakivubo Ham Stadium in Kampala, Uganda, but they are determined to come back with an away victory in their quest for another consecutive appearance at the finals scheduled from October this year. Head coach Mildred Cheche says there is a lot of expectations for the team following their historic World Cup qualifications last year, but they will not take any chances against Uganda, who ran over Namibia 18-1 on aggregate in the first round, to set up a date with the Junior Starlets, who were given a bye to the second round. The winner of the home and away tie will proceed to the third round, where they will either meet Cameroon or Ethiopia. The top four nations from the final round will join host Morocco in the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup finals scheduled from the 17th of October to the 8th of November this year.
We expect a very tough opposition, a challenging opposition. Looking at the previous game they played against Namibia, it means they are also well organized.
What Kenya brings to the team has given us nightmares for the past 8 days. So we've got to do everything, have to plan everything, whether it's a corner, a throw-in, everything is planned meticulously for us to do it in the game.
That's all the time we had for you this Saturday afternoon. We appreciate your valued company. This has been Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen. Arange Baron Abuli has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.
As we celebrate the strength, resilience, and achievement of women across all sectors of society, at KBC, we are committed to advancing gender equality by amplifying women's voices in media, promoting equal opportunities in our workforce, and telling stories that inspire and empower. Through inclusive programming and policies that support women in leadership, we continue to break barriers and foster a culture of equity.